Imagine escaping from the most secure prison in America. A prison surrounded by freezing water, deadly currents, and sharks. A place designed so perfectly that officials claimed escape was impossible. But in 1962, 3 inmates disappeared from their cells in the middle of the night and were never seen again. No bodies, no proof of death, no confirmed capture, and more than 60 years later, the FBI still cannot say for certain what really happened. This is the terrifying mystery of the Alcatraz escape, and the hidden truths most people never hear about. Alcatraz wasn't just a prison, it was America's final warning. Located on a small island in the middle of San Francisco Bay, Alcatraz was built to hold the inmates considered too dangerous, too violent, or too impossible to control. Murderers, bank robbers, gangsters, even infamous criminals like Al Capone were sent there. The prison had a terrifying reputation. The icy water surrounding the island averaged around 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit. The currents were so strong that even experienced swimmers struggled to survive. Prison guards constantly reminded inmates of one thing: nobody escapes Alcatraz. And for years, they were right. Until 3 men started planning something unbelievable. The masterminds behind the escape were brothers John Anglin and Clarence Anglin, along with another inmate named Frank Morris. Frank Morris was considered exceptionally intelligent. His IQ reportedly placed him in genius territory. The group spent months secretly preparing their escape. And this is where the story becomes unbelievable. Using stolen spoons and improvised tools, they slowly chipped away at the vents behind their cells. Not for days, for months. Every night, while guards walked nearby, they quietly dug through the concrete walls. To hide the noise, one inmate would play an accordion during music hour, but that wasn't the craziest part. They created fake heads, seriously, using soap, toilet paper, hair collected from the prison barber shop, and paint. They built realistic dummy heads and placed them on their pillows at night, so when guards looked into the cells, it appeared the prisoners were asleep. The entire escape depended on one thing: fooling the guards long enough to disappear forever. And somehow, it worked. On the night of June 11th, 1962, the 3 men crawled through the holes behind their cells and entered a hidden maintenance corridor. From there, they climbed through pipes and reached the roof of the prison. Imagine the fear in that moment. One mistake, one sound, and they would have been shot instantly. But they kept going. The men then climbed down the prison structure and reached the shoreline. And this is another hidden truth many people don't know. They had built a homemade raft, not from wood, not from metal, from more than 50 stolen raincoats. The inmates stitched the raincoats together and sealed them using steam pipes to create an inflatable raft and life vests. It sounds insane, but investigators later found evidence proving it existed. Around midnight, the men pushed into the freezing black water of San Francisco Bay. And then, they vanished. The next morning, guards discovered the fake heads. At first, they thought the prisoners were sleeping. Then panic exploded across the prison. The FBI launched one of the largest manhunts in American history. Helicopters searched the bay, boats scanned the water, officers searched nearby shorelines. Authorities quickly announced that the men probably drowned, and honestly, that seemed believable. The water was brutally cold, the currents were deadly, and the distance to shore was enormous. But there was a problem. No bodies were ever found, not one. And over time, strange evidence began appearing. Years later, family members of the Anglin brothers claimed they received mysterious postcards and secret messages. Some relatives even said the brothers attended family funerals disguised as women. Sounds ridiculous, until investigators found photographs that raised serious questions. One image allegedly showed 2 men in Brazil decades later, who looked shockingly similar to the Anglin brothers. Former U.S. Marshals admitted the escape remains officially open. Even more shocking, In 2013, a letter surfaced claiming to be from one of the escapees. The letter said, "My name is John Anglin. I escaped from Alcatraz in June 1962." The writer claimed all 3 men survived the escape. According to the letter, Frank Morris died years later, while the Anglin brothers secretly lived under new identities. The FBI analyzed the letter, but could never fully confirm whether it was authentic. And that means one terrifying possibility still exists. The only successful escape from Alcatraz may have actually worked. Today, Alcatraz has become a tourist attraction. Millions of visitors walk through the empty prison halls every year, but one question still haunts the island. Did the men drown in the freezing water that night? Or did they outsmart one of the most secure prisons in human history? Because if they survived, then 3 ordinary inmates accomplished something the US government once called impossible. And somewhere in the darkness of history, the real ending to the Alcatraz escape may still be hidden forever.